Let's get to the updated 2026 governor's prediction for the month of July. Made a couple of moves toward the Dems, but overall, I held a lot of things where they were. I didn't want to get swayed too much by a few polls I saw, so we're going to go through this. We'll start by putting in the safe states. These should be over 10% margins, and a lot of open seats on here. The national environment should favor the Dems, but a lot could happen over the next several months. But I got to say, as usual, a lot of these are borderline, and I could make a case that some of these would go likely. Nebraska's a possibility, maybe Connecticut, but the one state I am moving up to safe for the Dems is Pennsylvania. I thought about keeping it at likely, but it looks like Shapiro is just going to be too strong, and we'll say he's going to hit double digits. After all that, we'll go down to the likely states. These should be between 5 and 10% margins. First, for the Dems, we've got Oregon. It's a blue state, but the Dems don't usually dominate here for this particular office. It is a rematch. I'm going to leave it at likely. We'll see what happens. We've also got New Mexico. Then after that, we'll head up to the northeast into Maine. Then all the way in the northeast, we've got Maine. Now we know the actual matchup here. It's Pingree, it's Charles. Dems are easily going to be the clear favorites here. Who knows how high it could get or if it ends up being competitive. Either way, likely is the easy rating. The last one here is Rhode Island. I think Dan McKee is going to be primaried out. There could be a third-party challenger, but it's a blue state in a blue environment. This is easily going to go at least likely. Now for the Republicans. First, I've got Alaska. This one could change in a hurry. I wasn't confident in the rating, but I'm going to leave it at likely. Next, we've got Texas. Greg Abbott looking pretty strong here. He's going to get it likely. Then we've got Florida. Byron Donald's the favorite here. He's going to get it likely. Then there's South Carolina. This one I could go up to safe, but I'm going to leave it where I had it. It's going to be just under 10% and go likely. Last one in the Northeast is New Hampshire. Kelly Ayotte favored to win by at least 5%. Now we've got the competitive states lean or under 5%, tilt or 1% or less. We'll start in Nevada. This one I'm holding at a lean for Lombardo, the incumbent Republican. Lombardo could go down given how purple the state is, but for now I think he's got it by at least 1%. Then let's do Arizona. Here I think Katie Hobbs again has an edge. It's not overwhelming, but it's enough to defeat Andy Biggs, and she's going to get it with a lean rating. Then it's a flip and a pickup in Kansas for the Republicans. After 2 terms of Democrats, most likely the state is going to flip back. Still got to see what happens with their primary, but it's going to go leans. Then we've got Iowa. This is the one that I thought I should change, but then I decided not to. I'm keeping it at a lean for Zach Lane, the Republican. It's similar in Ohio. We saw this movie before where back in 2018 in a blue wave, Dems looked like they could easily flip these 2 states. In the end, it didn't happen. It doesn't mean the same thing's going to happen, but it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed Rob Sand is just going to flip this state. I think it's about 1 to 2% now for Lane, and so that's why it stays leans, but we'll see what happens. In Wisconsin, once we get an actual nominee here and see what happens, it's going to stay lean for the Dems. Michigan, not much to say here, leans for the Dems. Ohio is very similar to Iowa for me. We're going to keep it at a leans for Vivek Ramaswamy. The last state is Georgia. This is an absolute coin flip. I want to see what happens with these 2 campaigns between Rick Jackson and Keisha Lance Bottoms. It's unclear. Rick Jackson, we know, has a ton of money, but this state has gotten a lot bluer over the past decade. So I don't know. That's why I kept the rating the same as a tilt for the Republicans. Clearly, it could go either way. So that's what I've got for the final map. It's 23 seats for the Dems, 27 for the Republicans. Republicans have a flip in Kansas, but Dems are pretty close in several states. I'm usually somebody that's cautious with the ratings. I don't like to say a lot of states are going to flip if there's not a ton of consistent evidence. And I'm just not there with Rob Sand and Amy Acton. Clearly, I think they could win, given it's only about a 2% margin in both states. But some people just glance at the map at the end and they freak out for one reason or another. Plenty of time to go here. We'll follow it. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about your governor's prediction for July? You think Lombardo's going to go down? What about Alaska? What about Oregon or Georgia or Florida? Is something going to happen to the primaries and shake these states up? Let me know what you think down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.